Welcome into SportsCenter. We are live here in Dallas, Texas, where the Cardinals came on the road after 5 excruciating consecutive close losses, and they win in convincing fashion by 10. Trey McBride alongside me, and you all were fantastic on both sides of the football, and as you and I were waiting to come on here live, I just told you how much respect I have for your group, not allowing that series of close losses to bleed into this one.
Yep.
What's the message in the room before the game tonight about what's going to be required to beat a team who's been great in this building?
Yeah, I mean, we've been so close the last few weeks. We've been battling, and we just have came up a little bit short the last few weeks. So we know how good of a team we can be. We just had to go out there and close the game, and I think that was the big message tonight is let's close the game. In the fourth quarter, let's not let off the gas. Let's put the pedal down, and let's close these guys out, and I think that's what we did today.
When it comes to closing the game, again, something you and I were talking about out there, Calais Campbell, a man of the year and the oldest guy out there and the largest human on planet Earth, is getting sacks late. I'm just going to give you a chance to brag on that defense. They're sacking Dak. They're turning him over. Yeah. How well did they play?
Man, they played unbelievable tonight. They got the turnover early. We got the fumble out over on the other sideline that just they jumped back on it. And then the fumble at the end of the game on our sideline was a game-changing play. They're driving down. They're having a great drive. Going to put it into a one-score game, and then our defense gets a turnover to give us the ball back. So we can go into 4-minute drive. So super proud of our defense. They played extremely well, and they were a huge part of the win tonight for sure.
We talked so much on Countdown about the close calls and this and that. I started with a question about it, but could you give folks an idea of what's required of the group to just keep the faith, particularly in a division? Right. I mean, Seattle, Los Angeles, San Francisco, they're all so good, and you all are a play or two away from being the team who's leading the division.
No doubt.
What is just how does a group lock arms and continue
I think we
forward?
just know who we are inside. We know what kind of team we can be, and like I said, we haven't been getting killed by teams. We're just losing by 1 point here.
But isn't that almost worse in a way?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that harder?
It
you know
is
what I
hard,
mean?
but I think the main thing is we just dug deep and really played for each other, went out there and just left it all out on the field. We knew everyone was going to be watching tonight on Monday night, and we just had to leave it all out on the field and go win.
All right, about that. When we do Countdown, we start 6 Eastern, 5 local. You're talking to Ryan Clark, and I got a chance to say hello in person, introduce myself, and you said, I just want to play well enough that I'm up here with me on SportsCenter. I'm like, well, look, go ball out, and you can take care of that. Yeah. You get another touchdown. You do what you have done all year long. What is your mentality of what you can do on this gigantic stage tonight to get you guys in the win column?
Yeah, I feel like, when I'm out there, I feel like I can make plays all over the field. And, we missed a couple early, but Jacoby kept coming back to me, and that touchdown in the end zone was a huge play for us. And the seam at the end, I mean, Jacoby's playing so well. He's giving me the ball when I need it, and I'm just so proud of our offense. We played very well tonight.
We were laughing because a game earlier this year against Green Bay, you had 2 touchdowns. What'd you tell me? You said I should have had 3. And I was laughing because you were so angry in that game on the bench. You looked like you were just furious at the universe, but you channeled that rage in such a positive way that night. There are a ton of young tight ends that are really playing at a high level. Yeah. What has happened for you over the course of these last couple of years that you have become a true weapon in your offense?
I think just continue to stay down, just make plays, and, when the ball comes, you make plays. And like you said, you're not going to make them all, and you got to just focus on the next one. You can't let that one play behind you, affect the rest of the game. So keep going, make the next play, and like you said in that Green Bay game, come back and score a couple more times. But there's so many great tight ends out there right now, and I'm just, happy to be a part of it.
Right on. Next play is a great mentality, I think, for life for all of us, whatever it is you're doing, because what's happened, and the next play is the only thing any of us can control. You mentioned Jacoby Brissett. And this isn't a loaded question meant to get anyone in trouble. This isn't about who didn't play tonight. It's just about Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
In the games where he has been your starting quarterback, what has been the best thing he has done to give your offense and your team a chance to win games?
Jacoby's a real pro. He's a guy who does everything the right way. He, does everything during the week, watches all the film, does everything the right way. And I think one thing that Jacoby does is he keeps us calm. He keeps us poised in the huddle, and he really gives us confidence. He's going to talk to everybody. He's going to tell us how he's feeling, what he wants us to do, and he's going to trust his guys. He's going to give us chances. He's going to, throw us the ball when we're covered, and he's going to give us chances. And I'm just so proud of the way he played. He's an unbelievable quarterback, unbelievable guy, and I'm super proud of him.
We showed some of his sort of the travels, right, from where he's been since in these last few years. It's been a different team every year because he is exactly what you described, a professional who is able to fill in when called upon and give his team team a chance to win. And you see the smile on his face, and he afterwards just talked about just trying to do his job and be present week to week. I think it's such a tricky job to be that guy, right? Because I'm sure he wants to play, and then when he gets the chance to play, to be able to play at the level, I just have such appreciation for that, and it sounds like you really do as well.
I do too, man. He comes in, he works so hard, and I think the main thing about him is he's prepared. Whether he's going to back up the starter, he prepares the same way, and I feel so confident going into a game with Jacoby. He does everything the right way. He knows how to deliver the balls to the guys, and most importantly, he's just a great person, and I love playing for him.
Well, you played phenomenal. It was cool. I joked with the folks that there's never been anybody that asked to come up here before the game, and you made good on it. You were fantastic out there. Truly one of the young stars in the league, not just your position, but on offense. So continued good health, most importantly, and maybe this is a building block. You guys have been so close to winning games tonight. You left no doubt. Continued success, man.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be on here, and more excited for our team, our guys to just continue to build on this. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. We'll do it again somewhere down the road.
Man.
All right.
So much.
As the happy Cardinal fans are cheering here.
Thought we would play better than this. We just came out and they had a good game plan. Cardinals did. Very disappointing. That's all I can say about it.
Jerry Thurman said that maybe you should consider not making a trade now based on what you saw tonight. Does this change your opinion at all?
Again, I hear opinions, and you can rest assured that, at least through my mind, that all those considerations are there. It was there before this game. It was there when we started the season about whether you make a trade or not. But what's got this on point is tomorrow's our trade deadline. And we've either got to or get off the pod by tomorrow afternoon.
I was thanking our guest and didn't read the graphic. That's bad hosting. Better hosting is to bring Ryan on with his touchscreen. You ready to go?
Hey, I'm ready to go, man. Lock in. How about this, though? Trey McBride spoke it into existence.
Truly.
First time it's ever happened
it.
on the show.
Manifested it. You introduced us. He said he wanted. I just explained that to the country.
Man, that was absolutely phenomenal. What a night.
High-level, live, professional read from Stanford Steve. Elite sequence there. Monday Night Football wrapping up Week 9. No Kyler Murray, but Jacoby Brissett, who, if you watch Countdown, the fellas all said, you put on the tape, and he has run a cleaner operation, leading 3-0. It was a Marvin Harrison night. That was a 3rd and 14 conversion in RC. Those two were cooking tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And here you see on this play, it's a quick slant inside. He makes Deron Bland fall, and even CeeDee Lamb had to appreciate this route.
Yeah, look, you made your living trying to stop dudes from catching passes. This got to be a terrible feeling when you pull them down.
Well, it's a terrible feeling when your own teammates understand just how bad it was.
Okay, so it's a 10-0 lead. Dallas is in plus territory here, and they're certainly in field goal range, except Jake Ferguson has the ball punched out. Mack Wilson does a tremendous job. I feel like we talk about this every week, eyeballing it, punching it away. And this was
got to be a bad omen if Stephen A's like, you know what, Jerry, I'm finna leave.
I got to get out of here. I'd say it was all three phases, but the Cardinals did have this punt block. Marshawn Nealon does a great job to chase it down after Sam Williams gets there and takes it off the chin.
Listen, this was important, though. At this point, the Dallas Cowboys offense hadn't produced a single point in this game. That put 7 on the board.
But right before the half, with them getting the ball to start the second half, Brissett runs it in to make it 17-7. And as I mentioned, they get the ball coming out of the locker room. About that, put your foot on the gas. First play, where's my man?
Michael Wilson. Listen, this is a big catch, and I heard Trey McBride tell you, keep our foot on the gas when we're up. This is a huge catch and run for Wilson on the dig route.
You know what we both just said about McBride that we both appreciate? He tries real hard.
Yeah, and you know what? It's good when the guys that try the hardest are the most talented.
Well, it's a great combination. Yet another touchdown for him, and so Dallas is going to have to fight uphill from here. That's a 2nd and goal, and Dak is sacked. This Cardinal defense was getting after him throughout. That's Josh Sweat. They settle for a field goal. First play of the 4th, Cowboys down 17, and they elect to try to get 7 of them here, and this one kind of floats. You see CD kind of have to wait for it.
Yeah, it was that pressure on Dak Prescott. The ball floats in the air, and a huge close by the rookie there to make a huge pass breakup.
After the Cardinals punted away, at some point Dallas is going to find the end zone. Ryan Flournoy, back of the end zone.
He didn't help with our parlay.
He did not. He did not, but he helped Dallas get closer, but they still need more. From here, it's 3rd and 12. All right, they're not going to get a first down, but now they're going to lose the ball.
Listen, this is a huge tackle, and then you finish on the football. It's a scoop by the Cardinals, and this was one of those big-time plays that Trey McBride talked about his defense making. They were hunting the ball the entire night.
Let's give Cody Simon the credit for the rip. Akeem Davis-Gates to the recovery. Cardinals snapped that miserable 5-game losing streak all by 4 or fewer. We're not talking about that tonight. We're talking about Jonathan Gannon's guys winning by 10 on Monday Night Football.
It's good. I'm looking at my watch, and I don't know the last time we won. And it falls on me. At the bye, I'm sitting in the shower thinking about it, like, how did I let this happen? But that's what everybody in there takes that attitude, honestly. So we got good guys, we got good coaches. They don't look to point fingers. And you just keep plodding along. We hit a stretch of adversity, a stretch. It is what it is, But what are you going to do? You're playing on Monday Night Football in Dallas. Let's go play our game, And that's what they did, so I'm proud of them.
Amari DiMercado had a big run, and who was out there on the field, and he says, Amari, and he said, F yeah, to his guy. And they went through a moment of adversity. And there was plenty of stress, and you lose 5 by 4. I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Trey when he was out here. Man, that could have a team just spiral and say, a lot of runway in front of us, but we're done. That did not happen. I couldn't be more impressed with how they played tonight. What would you say about that?
I couldn't be more impressed with Jonathan Gannon. You talk about that Mercado interaction. He took full responsibility and accountability for that. He said he needed to be better. He had failed his team. And when your leader takes that level of accountability, now everyone in that locker room can follow. And you better believe Jacoby Brissett is also a part of this. This is a man that has taken over at the quarterback position, played extremely well against Indianapolis. They fall just short. Played extremely well against the Green Bay Packers, and you have the same thing happen. And tonight it seemed like he not only led this team, but he willed this offense to make those huge plays and to continue to finish this game. And so as an entire team, you have to be impressed with the way the Arizona Cardinals showed up tonight.
I'm completely with you, and I'm not going to ask a question to try to get that man, Trey McBride, in trouble and say who should be the starter, because that's just an impossible question for the young man to answer. Troy said it. We said it on Countdown. I'm saying it right here. That guy has to be their starter moving forward.
I think moving forward, you have to make a tough decision if you're Jonathan Gannon. Everybody knows Kyler Murray was drafted to be the franchise quarterback. He has been the franchise quarterback, and he was paid that way. But it's about how do you win games right now, and who has this team in a better position each and every game day. And right now, that's Jacoby Brissett. You can tell that the players believe in him, and something Trey McBride told you really stuck out to me. He said he tells everybody where he is and where he wants them to be, and that's a big thing for a leader at the quarterback position.
We're saying this, and Jonathan Gannon said nothing has changed. Kyler Murray is the starter, I guess that's health dependent. So we'll see when that foot is healthy enough for him to play. And I thought the distinction was interesting. They want him to be able to have his wheels be a weapon, which truly are a weapon, because that's different than Brissett. And he said he wasn't healthy enough to have that be a part of tonight's game.
I think the thing for Kyler Murray is that's what makes him Kyler Murray. That's why he was the number 1 overall draft pick. And if he can't improvise, if he can't create plays with his legs, I don't believe he gives you a better chance to win than Jacoby Brissett, because the actual operation of the offense right now seems much more efficient the last 3 weeks.
Okay, I led with all that stuff about Arizona because they're who won and they deserve to be talked about.
Did the right thing.
However, this Dallas team is the team that came in tonight with a greater sense of expectation, because they have shown a ceiling, which is a high-scoring offense, and Dak's playing at a high level, et cetera, et cetera. They lose this game, and now you're 3-5-1. And it's the first time all year that they've either lost or won consecutive games, but now they've lost a couple. The schedule gets really difficult weeks 12 through 14. This is one you have to have if you want to have a chance to make the playoffs. Where does this leave you?
Scott, this was the game to provide hope. To the Dallas fans, to this organization in that locker room. You had to come back home on a Monday Night Football game and win, right, and be impressive and do the things that you do well. This wasn't Dak Prescott's best outing. He wasn't protected up front. We didn't see CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens dominate in the way we'd seen them dominate in different spurts throughout the season. And the execution from Brian Schottenheimer's offense just wasn't there. And we've always known what they've been defensively. No one picked this game and went, oh, the Dallas Cowboys are going to win 17-13. We expected them to give up points, but we thought that this offense would operate at a prolific level, and it did not. And that shows you, if Dak Prescott doesn't play out of his mind, if CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens aren't playing at an all-pro level, this team can't compete at all. And it makes me wonder about the trade that Jerry Jones alluded to today and think to myself, is that trade now off? Because this team has shown you they're far more than one defensive player away from being a contender.
In a loaded NFC that has,
yes.
I mean, look at the entire NFC West is good. The entire NFC North is competitive.
And you know what's funny about that, Scott? We're questioning the Green Bay Packers, who are 5-2-1
right.
because of some of their lows. Well, imagine even thinking if this team could be a part of that.
Right. Well, the point we made about Green Bay is like your two losses are to the Browns and to the Panthers. And if we're going to crown you as potential championship contenders, you can't show that your worst game you could lose to teams like that. But if this is Dallas's best performance on a Monday night against a team you're favored to beat, then they're not playoff contenders, are they?
And also, too, like, the bounce back you're supposed to have after what we saw against the Denver Broncos, after the defense playing in the manner that they did, losing that game in blowout fashion, Bo Nix doing whatever he wanted to do to you, you're supposed to want to come out here and make a point. You're supposed to want to show not only yourselves but the world that you are true contenders, that you do have a backbone, that you're willing to give the effort. And we saw none of that tonight. And I think, to me, that's the most disappointing part. You said it during the break about Trey McBride. He works hard. He tries hard. I didn't see a lot of people who were trying hard tonight for the Dallas Cowboys.
They got jumped early. They trailed, and the closest they were most of the games at 3 after you get a block punt. Yeah. And mostly Arizona played from in front. They were the better team. They won, and they should have won.
Yeah, very disappointing and disappointing, very frustrating. Knowing that you're better than that and going out there and not putting a performance close to your standard or even the expectations or what you thought you could do and expected to do against this team, and credit to those guys. That's the beauty of the NFL. Like, games, plays, stats, none of that's done on paper. You've got to go out there and you've got to earn it that night with everything taken into account. And they kicked our ass and both sides of the ball. Limited the possessions early.
They go into a bye, and then we'll see them in Vegas week 11. As for week 10, there's some good ones on the way. Drake May and the Patriots, they've won 6 in a row, going to be tested on the road against Baker Mayfield and the Bucs off a bye. Niners host the Rams. The NFC West is a joke, and I mean that in a positive way. Yeah. My goodness, there's not an easy game on the schedule there, and we will be in Lambeau a week from tonight. It is going to be outdoors, and it's going to be cold, but it's a game we're really looking forward to. Reigning champs against Green Bay. And Ryan Clark is back alongside. And Ryan, I want to try to frame this in a way to make sure the folks listening understand what I'm saying. We made the point on Countdown. As it relates to Green Bay, if you're a championship caliber team, right, this far into the season, I feel like the gap between the best and the worst that you put on tape needs to be narrow if you're going to be a championship winning team. I'm not saying Green Bay is not good. I believe they are. But I also believe they've lost to Cleveland and a Carolina team that had only beaten the Jets on the road, and Green Bay is favored by a ton. With that said, how important does this game for Green Bay become against an Eagle team off a bye?
This game is gigantic. The Green Bay Packers should be in a situation after playing the Carolina Panthers where they're looking at the NFC and they're standing at 6-1-1. Which puts them in the number 1 seed.
Correct.
Now you've fallen back to not only the pack in the NFC, but the pack in the NFC North, as that whole division has now tightened. You have to go show that you can compete with the best of the best and win a game at home that is a must-win, in my opinion. Jordan Love needs to show that he can show up his biggest and his brightest when the lights are on. And also as a defense, you have to show that you can go out and stop the run after Rico Dowdle absolutely dominated you and Saquon Barkley is coming into your house.
Going to have to make up for the loss of Tucker Kraft, who's one of the – I mean, McBride's a star, a lot of young tight ends that can really go. They lose him to an ACL injury, and they're going to have to find an answer for that.
Scott, think about this. Think about watching Tucker Kraft in primetime against Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
He absolutely dominated that game. 2 touchdowns, huge 58-yard catch and run. Everything that he was able to do only added to what Jordan Love was doing from a completion standpoint. And now you're going against the Philadelphia Eagles, who to their credit, continue to add pieces on the defensive side of the ball.
How he's working those phones.
Right, you go get Jair Alexander, you get Michael Carter, you just got Jalen Phillips from the Miami Dolphins, and Brandon Graham has also returned. So this is the team that's not only sitting at the top of the NFC, but they're continuously looking to be better with Howie Roseman. And so for me, if I'm Matt LaFleur, I'm preaching to my team today, everything is about attention to detail, but sense of urgency. And we didn't see that championship sense of urgency against the Carolina Panthers.
Nope, and we certainly didn't see it tonight from Dallas in a game you felt like they really had to have, because there's so many people between Dallas at the moment in a playoff spot. Again, they've got to bye. Then it's Vegas. That's next 2 weeks from now on Monday night. Next week, Green Bay. Bundle up's going to be cold. RC, always appreciate your time,
appreciate
my
you,
friend.
brother.